This lecture is titled Linn Sitler's Undemocratic White Supremacist Film Culture Based on a Plantation Mentality. The father of African American history, Dr. Carter G. Woodson, wrote, "Those who have no record of what their forebears have accomplished lose the inspiration which comes from the teachings of biography and history." You see, the story of Memphis is its plantation mentality, whereas the world witnessed the horrific black-on-black racism of 5 black police officers killing Tyree Nichols. You see, in Memphis, where Dr. Martin Luther King was brutally assassinated in 1968, in 2019, you have a black Shelby County Mayor, Lee Harris, did not have the courage to support and acknowledge the first film produced about black Memphis history by Anthony F. Elmore. The movie was called 200 Years of Black Memphis History. Elmore wanted this story to be included in the Memphis 200 bicentennial celebration. And yet, this white woman by the name of Linn Sitler, see, she is the person who controls anything film related in Memphis, and Linn Sitler, whom Elmore calls a white supremacist, operates via a plantation culture who we in the black community used to call Mizan, the Southern Belle. Nobody challenged Mizan. Linn Sitler. In 1986, black filmmaker Spike Lee started the black film revolution via producing a black, independent black and white film titled She's Gotta Have It. Black filmmakers in America became inspired by Spike Lee. Memphis-born kickboxing champion Anthony F. Elmore was so inspired by Spike Lee's success, whereas Elmore took a typing class, wrote a movie script about his own life. Linn Sitler was hired in 1987 as Memphis Film, Music, Tape, and Television Film Commissioner. You see, Anthony F. Elmore in 1987 had no idea that he was entering the annals of not only Memphis film history via becoming the first independent feature filmmaker in Memphis history. Elmore became the first person in American film history to produce a kickboxing film, and Elmore, even today in 2023, is the only kickboxing champion in the world to have his own film biopic. It was unprecedented in Memphis history that anyone, black or white, in 1987 was shooting a 35mm independent feature film in Memphis. In retrospect, Linn Sitler, who had a love for film, faced the disappointment in Memphis, whereas her first client were black filmmakers. There was no publicity that this black film was being made in Memphis. The saving grace, on November 2nd, 1987, the LA Times did a news release. Quote, "Films going to production, The Contemporary Gladiator, starring Anthony F. Elmore, filming in Memphis, Tennessee." You see, Linn Sitler never visited a film set, sent news releases, took publicity photos. To add insult to injury, Linn Sitler acquiesced via the film getting a negative review because she was hurt. When the film premiered in July of 1988, Linn Sitler could not bring herself to attend this movie premiere. Linn Sitler operates in Memphis via racism, white supremacy, and discrimination with impunity. Linn Sitler embellished her image via memorializing white supremacy via a historic marker, whereas she was able to create her own false facts with impunity. You see, incontrovertible facts note that Anthony Elmore's Memphis-made 1988 film release, The Contemporary Gladiator, is Memphis' first independent feature film. Linn Sitler's plantation argument is that Anthony Elmore's 1988 film is Memphis' first black independent feature film, whereas Linn Sitler names the 1989 Jim Jarmusch independent feature film Mystery Train as Memphis' first independent feature film because a white man produced the film. You see, Linn Sitler made the ultimate Memphis Plantation compromise. Instead of having Anthony Elmore, a black man, rightfully acknowledged via a historic marker, Linn Sitler found a Negro to put on the marker to appease black Memphis. Most importantly, Linn Sitler was able to rob Memphis of a black heritage asset. This is something that is done on a plantation where a white takes credit for a black achievement. You see, a heritage asset is an item that has value because of its contribution to a nation's society, knowledge, or culture. You see, Dr. King said, "It may be true that the law cannot change the heart, but it can restrain the heartless." This white woman is heartless and cares nothing about black children. Linn Sitler only supports white films and white filmmakers. You see, Craig Brewer, a white boy who was in high school when I shot my movie, Craig Brewer gets to get black filmmaker John Singleton who did the movie Boys in the Hood to fund his movie Hustle and Floor. On June 4, 2019, Linn Sitler said, "We did it. Bluff City Law shoot series in Memphis." You see, the truth about the matter, black Memphis is being pimped and white Memphis is benefiting from corporate welfare. While Memphis was celebrating Linn Sitler's black filmmaker, Tyler Perry opened a multi-billion-dollar studio shooting black movies. You see, we were celebrating Bluff City Law, and who's who was in Black America was at Tyler Perry Studios. You see, the Black Panther movie was shot at Tyler Perry Studios that made $1.3 billion. Tammy Williams, a black woman, just last year just opened a $135 million studio. Michelle Sneed, a black woman, just opened a film studio called A Few Good Women Productions. You see, let me tell you how Linn Sitler treated me and my film. See, my film was a hit in Germany, and you won't even know that Anthony Elmore is a filmmaker.
Modisches, so wie ich, handgefertigt, verstehst du? Das geht ab! Du trägst ja noch immer Mama-Sachen. Aber die sind schon uralt und passen nur zu einem uralten Boxer. Du hast keine Klasse!
Wir sind doch nicht hier, damit uns ein Idiot voll labert. Mein Mann spricht für sich im Ring. Komm, Wood.
Freundchen, ich blas dir den Marsch. Dein letzten.
While the world is celebrating diversity, whereas Cannes Film Festival chose a black man, Spike Lee, to head the film festival, whereas Memphis, Tennessee has an issue admitting that Anthony F. Elmore is Memphis' first independent black feature filmmaker. We have a film that can be celebrated by the Library of Congress National Film Registry. We are a part of black history, and we want to teach black history in Memphis. This is what we ask from the Shelby County Commission. We ask to be treated as human and be respected as Memphis' first independent feature filmmaker. Memphis has tremendous talent, and we have not only turned our home into a film set, we've turned Orange Mound into a movie film set company called Orange Mound Black Memphis Hollywood. Linn Sitler refused to come to Orange Mound. They denied me to even shoot at Orange Mound Community Center. I want to give Memphis talent an opportunity. I want to train people to make films and create a film culture and create jobs. I need the Shelby County Commission to stop the racism and discrimination. We want to let Memphis know that we're making a movie, and we will make movies and create jobs and opportunity. Orange round, orange round, orange round, orange round, orange round, orange round, always 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 round. A Memphis Black community, we're born the first in America with a grand black history. A Memphis Black community, built for blacks, by blacks. We can trace our history to 1879. We're American history, and that is so divine.